This caravan is not. They're wasting their time. They are not coming into the country.
What's the military going to be able to do? Obama and Bush both sent the National Guard.
But
it had no effect.
They're not me. This is I'm sending up the military. This is the military. And they're standing there. And one thing that will happen.
No lethal force.
When they're captured, we don't let them out. What has been happening, and we're not as of pretty recently, we're not letting them out. What happens is they would catch and release. We're catching. We're not releasing. So if they want to come over, but we're not even doing that. We're not letting them into this country.
That was the President of the United States, of course, speaking to Laura Ingraham. The full interview airs tonight at 10 Eastern on her show. Well, the original purpose of soldiers in this country was to protect America's borders. Washington has forgotten that completely, but they're being reminded. In response to the migrant caravan still making its way through Mexico, the president has ordered the deployment of more than 5,000 U.S. troops to assist the Border Patrol. This is deeply offensive to some people for some reason. David Tafuri is an attorney and former Obama campaign advisor. He joins us tonight. David, thanks a lot for coming on. So here's what I find sincerely confusing, and in the spirit of trying to bridge the gap and continue civil discourse, I'll just put it as honestly as I can. Why is it offensive for a country to try and maintain territorial integrity, to defend its borders?
We should maintain territorial integrity. We don't have to let anyone into our border who doesn't comply with the law, but it's also hyperbole to call this an invasion. This is not an invasion. These are people who are economically in trouble, who are also facing security concerns in Honduras, and they're trying to come here to apply for political asylum. They may not deserve...
I'm sorry, I just want to question your assumption. How do you know that? Has there been a census of this group? Do we know anything about them? We know nothing about them. We don't know their names. We don't know their motives. I mean, isn't that kind of the point? We actually don't know. And I'm not calling them terrorists or saying, I'm not attacking them. I'm just saying we don't know, right?
Well, we know they don't have weapons, and we know they're not a foreign army. And some reporters have spent time with them, and we know that some of them are economically depressed persons. Some of them are young children, old people.
Sure.
These are not people coming to attack us, but they also don't necessarily deserve to come into the U.S.
So let's say you had, and I know we're very concerned about foreign entities affecting our life in this country. We're very concerned about Russia, right? What if you had 22 million foreign nationals living using fake documents within your own borders? What would you call that? 22 million. All of them, again, using fake federal documents here illegally. Why would that not be an invasion? What would that be?
It's not an invasion. It's
22 million?
We have illegal aliens here, people who are here unlawfully, and we need to do something about that.
But if you had 22 million foreign nationals living in your country under false pretenses, subverting federal documents, wouldn't you be completely freaked out about that? Let's say they were Russians. They're all from Belarus. There aren't even 22 million Belarusians, I don't think. But if there were, you would be hair on fire upset, wouldn't you?
I would be hair on fire upset if they were doing things to compromise U.S. security, if they were doing things to compromise our foreign policy or to compromise our Constitution, compromise rule of law. But many of these 22 million are actually gainfully employed. They have families.
Well, most are.
They're in school.
No, but most are decent people. I mean, look, I'm not attacking them. I never attack them. I think they mostly come here because it's a great country. I get it. But isn't the lesson of 9/11 that you want to know who's in your country?
Yes.
We have a Real ID Act in response to 9/11 that says that federal documents cannot be forged. You can't use fake ones. If I try that in an airport, I go to jail. We've got 22 million people doing it every single day. And that's not a security concern because what? Because they vote Democratic? Sincerely.
No, that is a concern. And that's why we need an immigration law that deals with these people orderly. Some of them need to be sent back to their country. Some of them need to be processed so they become legal. That's what Congress is supposed to sort out, and it has not sorted out.
If I go down to my bank and try to open an account using fake federal documents, well, the response from the cops being like, you know, we need a comprehensive approach to this. It's cool that you did it. I get it. You've got a family. You're just trying to open a fake bank account because, you know, you're probably a good person. We need a broad comprehensive. No, they say, no, felony, jail.
Exactly. And
so why are we allowing 22 million people to do that and I can't do it? In other words, why are we giving the benefit of the doubt to 22 million foreign nationals but not to American citizens? And the reason, of course, is because the Democratic Party is hoping that they'll be Democratic voters.
Tucker, you can't put this all on the Democratic Party.
Well, what's the
Both
other
the
answer?
Democratic Party and the Republican Party together have utterly failed to pass an immigration law that would deal with this problem that you're rightly concerned
Let me
about.
just stand corrected. Actually, you're saying something that's basically true. The Democrats are hoping to make them all voters, but the Republican Party, which just watched Trump get elected on the promise of building a wall and then didn't, deserves a lot of blame. I actually agree with you, so I'm sorry that I didn't mean to sound partisan. You're right. They're both responsible. But so given that fact, which is like a complete disaster and makes a mockery of our laws, the rule of law itself, why shouldn't we be pretty concerned about thousands of unknown people demanding entry? They just turned down residency in Mexico because they said, we have a right to come to America. Why shouldn't that bother us?
None of them said they have a right to come to
Yes,
America.
they did.
They want to come to America.
No, they think they have.
And by the way, they are coming to America. They have announced their presence. We all know they're coming. They're going to come to a border. They're going to try to apply for political asylum. Many of them will be denied and should be denied.
But why would
what they are not doing,
why wouldn't they
what they
all
are not, it's important to note, though, what they are not doing is what you're complaining these 22 million people did, which is came here illegally across the border without people knowing.
No.
This group is actually going to come here,
true,
announce their arrival,
False.
and apply for political asylum.
False.
Yes,
a lot of our aliens without documents, undocumented, whatever, illegal aliens in this country came
here legally and
as
became
refugees and never went to court because they're released into the interior of the country, and 90% of them stay here, as you know. So this is exactly how people got here in many cases. But I guess the point is, if they want to apply for asylum, why didn't they do it in Tegucigalpa? I mean, why should we take seriously a claim of asylum if you don't go to the embassy?
I have
in the
an easy
country you
answer
live
for
in?
that. You can't apply for political asylum in the country you're from. You have to leave your country in order to apply for political
No,
asylum.
but
That's
why
a
couldn't
basic
you apply to come
aspect of
here
political asylum.
legally? There's not a war going on in Honduras. It's just a poor country. It's mismanaged. I get it. I feel bad. But these are illegitimate claims by their nature. Apply legally like everybody else.
Right. They have to go to a foreign country to apply. So you could. The better argument that you could make is, why aren't they applying in Mexico rather than the U.S.?
Applying to come here legally like everybody else at the embassy in Tegucigalpa,
I think we can
Honduras?
both agree the reason they're not doing that is because they know they will be denied.
Exactly. Then why should
they
I
will
take
be
you
denied.
seriously
But
if you're trying to
the most
subvert my
important
laws
point,
the first
Tucker,
day?
is that all of these remedies that we're looking at now are Band-Aids. What we really have to do is help countries like Honduras fix the problem, fix their rule of law problems, fix their security problems, so they don't come here. That's in their interest and our interest.
What we really
and it
need
takes
to do-
leadership that neither Democrats nor Republicans have showed so far.
50,000 people died last year of drug ODs. There are hundreds of thousands of people, Americans, sleeping on the street tonight in this country and relieving themselves in the sidewalk. I think our first obligation is to them. I really do. I really believe that. No one else seems to think that. I think that.
I agree with you.
Okay, then maybe way down the list would be the people of Honduras, because they're not Americans.
But you're sitting here talking about how worried you are that thousands of Hondurans might come here to the U.S. What I'm saying is we can solve that problem if we help Honduras improve the economy, improve security, so people don't want to leave.
Okay,
that's
not
the solution.
Our job. Our job is to watch over Americans. And
It's more than it's not our job. It's in our interest.
Yeah, but you know what? It's super complicated. No one knows how to do it. We've been trying for a long time to make those countries better. It hasn't worked.
I believe America's faced tougher problems, and we've overcome
I don't think we've overcome any of those problems, actually. Beating a foreign army is a lot easier than
Look at the Marshall Plan after World War II.
Okay.
We helped fix
Germany's
Europe.
not Honduras. But before we're out of time. They're telling me. I'm sorry. I appreciate your coming on. Thanks,
Tucker.
Midterm elections a week from now.